Hi everybody. So today is our final lecture on Unreal Engine. So by now you should have textured your whole model, interior and exterior, right? So yeah, you should have finished everything, right? So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start creating our environment so as a setup for our rendering. So to create the environment, you just go to this selection mode, you just click on it, you scroll down, you go to landscape. Okay, so pick landscape, into the landscape mode. So you will have something like this. It will ask you, okay, what kind of landscape do you want, how big is it. So from here I'd suggest that you change it to maybe 31 by 31 or maybe even 16 by 16, 15 by 15 quads, right? So then it'll be a bit smaller. From here you can download the material from Megascan, right? So Pixel Bridge, open it, you find a material for your brown if you haven't downloaded one already. So you found a brown material, right? You can pick anyone, you just download it and then you drag and drop it here on this slot. So then when it creates the material, it will create the material that you assign to it. So anyone you've picked, just download it. You find them in your Megascan folder, right? So let's say I have this one, forest ground. Okay, so it's not the material. Yeah, if you can see, this one has a material instance like green marble, right? So you can just drag and drop it here. So yeah, it should work fine. Then once you're done, you just click on create. So then it'll create your material, with all your textures that you assign to it. So once you're done creating this, now you can sculpt the terrain, right? So let's say you want like hill somewhere or mountain or anything. So for this, you just go into the sculpt mode, right? Then the first tool is tool strength. I'm sure you've used this before, right? So tool strength means like how powerful is the tool. It's at 0.3. So if I click one time, it will go up, right? So if I click one time, right, 0.3 is quite slow, as you can see. Okay, so maybe if I change this to 1, you can see the difference. The moment I click, it will start rising, right? So we have all of these things. Okay, so then you have the brush size, right? So you can increase the brush size. The brush size can become bigger or smaller, right? So you just have to increase or decrease here. Same for brush fall off. Fall off means how what's the distance where it ends, as you can see on the screen, right? So I'm just gonna default everything, right? So let's say, okay, let's make the brush a bit smaller. Let's say you've made like a peak somewhere here, right? And then you want to lower it down. So you press shift and then you click on the to go down. So if you normal click, it will go up. If you shift and click, it will go down. Okay, so you have something like this, and then you have erase. So maybe you want to erase parts of it, make it like it was as default, right? Or you have like smooth. Let's say you have like a very sharp edge like this. So maybe you want to smooth the sides, right? So something like this. Then you have flatten, right? You will flatten the terrain based on the top height. So if I start from that side, because I came from the the top part, so it will work like this. Okay, all of this we are not going to go into, right? So then you model your terrain. Okay, so then yeah. Okay, so once you finish making your terrain, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to Quixel Bridge, sorry, the Megascan library, and then from here don't forget to sign in. Okay, so just sign in. Good. So in here now we're gonna start downloading some 3D assets. Okay, 3D assets includes, like you can see here, like nature, like things that you can use. So you can start by picking, like some rocks and things that you need. So I'm just gonna check about for rocks first. Okay, depends on you. You can see what kind of rocks do you want. Do you want like a mossy one, what is more green, or you have like grayish ones, and just pick the ones that you like. Okay, so once you do this, you download them and you add them to your project. Okay, so I downloaded 3. You can download more, right? You can download more, and you're encouraged to download maybe a few more, maybe 2 more, like 5. And then from here, we're gonna add them to our project like we do. Okay, so I can minimize this because I'm gonna use it again. So now in here you can see that I have these 3 rocks, right? So sorry, 1, 2, 3. So now I'm gonna place the rocks, maybe like to get a nice shot. So maybe I'm just gonna take this one, right? So sorry. So before I take the rocks, I'm just gonna convert them to nanite. So I'm gonna pick all of let's say all my 3D assets, right? I'm gonna create a filter here on static mesh. So when I do create that filter, I can convert all my rocks to nanite. So I'm gonna pick all 3. I'm gonna right click on them. I'm gonna go to nanite. I'm gonna enable nanite for free meshes. So then it's gonna yeah, I'm gonna just delete the extra things that I don't need for this project. Sorry, delete, force delete. Okay, do have a few things. Okay, this one is quite big. Let me delete it. Delete, delete, force delete. Okay, so now I should be fine. So now I have my free rocks that I downloaded. So I can start placing one by one. So the first one is here. Yeah. So maybe I can make it a bit bigger. Right. So, yeah. Okay, so maybe put it a bit in the ground so it doesn't look, too fake. Okay, so maybe we're gonna place this one also. So something like this maybe. Place it here. Okay, scale it. Press R to scale, W to move them. I think by now you should know how to. Okay, so now if you can see, I selected all 3. I press W so I can move them. Then I hold Alt on my keyboard. Okay, I hold Alt and then I just move them. It's gonna make a copy. Right. So now you can see this is the exact same copy of this. So I press E to rotate. E. So now I can make this like here. W. Maybe move it to the right. Okay. So now I press R. I can scale it. Let me just scale this. Right. So now maybe I rotate this one a little bit. Push it a bit to the back. Yeah. Right, so you can keep moving the things and copying them around, and it will look like different assets. So again, if I press Alt, I can drag this one, make a copy. I can rotate it to the other side. Yeah. Then I can scale it. Make it a bit bigger if I want. Right, it will look like yeah. So the more assets you download, and then the more you place them around. Okay, this one might look a bit weird because of that moss. So maybe you can build like a cliff behind your project, but you need to play around a bit with these downloadable. So you can pick. There's a lot of them. Okay, you can download different elements from this, and then populate your scene. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna, after you done the cliffs or mountains or anything that you want to do with it. So after you've done this, let's download some plants, right? Some plants or trees or anything. So I'm gonna search for plants. Let's give it a minute. Okay. So now the plants are loaded. Now we just see, which one you like. Okay, you have a few plants. Let me check this. Okay, I'm gonna get this one, the tundra grass. Okay, so maybe I get this, right? Remember, the more things you add to your project, you can change the quality, but the more things you add to your project, it will get heavier. So, okay, let's see this related asset. Okay, these are all under tundra, so let me check in here what else I can get. So this one I have. Let me get yellow flower. Okay, so nice. Okay, maybe this. Okay, you pick a few. Yeah, this one even has a terrain where it has lakes and stuff. So, okay, so once we've downloaded all our plants or trees or whatever we have, you can see we have all of them here. So I'm just gonna convert them to nanite. Okay, so if you haven't converted them to nanite, we can just select all of them. Okay, you can press Ctrl A. I click nanite. Okay, they are all nanite. So yeah, I think we had done this earlier. So once you've done this, we can change the selection mode to foliage. Okay, once in foliage, now we can start painting our grass. Okay, so to try first, right, just pick a few. Okay, I do have a lot, so yeah. Okay, let me make this a little bigger so I can see which is which. Okay. So I'm not sure if I see the trees. Okay, let me pick all of them. I'm gonna turn them on. Alright, so now if I just come here and paint, you can see it's painting like a mixture of all of these selected ones, and then it tells you how many instances you have. So from here I can increase the brush size and paint, right, or decrease, and then the paint density. Let me show you what this is. So it's like how how compacted the elements are. So if I do this at a paint density of 0.1, and when I increase this and then I paint again, you can see this one has more, this one has less. So if I increase the paint density to 1 and paint, it's like a full grass thing. So in here you can pick which one you want, which one you don't want. So I'm just gonna undo, right? So if you want to erase, you press shift and then you click on whatever you want to erase, right? So you can increase your brush size, decrease. Okay, so all of this is select, so I can maybe pick one at a time. If you want to select all, you will select all. Is this select? Okay, this one is select the invalid. Okay, lasso you can maybe just select like this, whatever you want. Paint, you will paint the whole thing. Reapply will reapply. Single is a single one. Fill will fill the whole area, right? and then you have remove and all these things. Okay, so now you can see here there's something called paint density. Okay, so let me change this to maybe 10 just to show you. 10, right? You can see it doesn't change much, right? So if I change this to 100, okay, sorry, I wasn't on paint. Okay, let me go do this again. 10, okay, so 10, you can see the density, right? So this will be 100. Let's just double check something. Yeah. So this is the same thing as you have here paint density, but here is okay. So now 100 it does this. Then radius, maybe we change this to 50. Right, we can see the difference. Okay, let me do somewhere here. Okay, so now maybe change this to 1. Right, it doesn't change much, so don't mind this. And then you have scaling, right? Scaling is quite important to give a realistic look. So maybe you change this to 0.3, and then the maximum is 1. So the smallest size it will paint is 0.3, and the biggest is 1. Right. So now if you can see, it has all the align, the angle, all these things, right? So let me erase, everything first. So then we can continue. Okay, I'm just gonna erase everything. So yeah. So now I'm gonna start painting, a bit around the 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 site. So yeah. So let me do this. Paint a bit around the side. So this. Now we can check. Right. Okay. So maybe in here I'll have a few. Okay, my brush is a bit too big. Let me undo. Yeah, this spot also doesn't seem nice, so I'm gonna make my brush a bit smaller. And then I'm gonna erase these ones. Okay, so I'm gonna make my brush a bit smaller again, but this time I'm gonna start painting like a few. So the density, let me change this to 10 maybe. Okay, 10 also is a bit too much. Maybe to 1. Right, so it gives me like, random things. Okay, so I'm just gonna paint a few. Maybe here. Right. Okay. So here maybe change back to 10 again. I'm gonna paint a few around here. Okay, so I have a few like this. Okay, maybe I'll have a few in the middle. So maybe a few here as well. Alright, so now I'm just gonna pick only the brows. So if I go back to all of this, I'm gonna uncheck them. Now I want only nice brows. Okay, so if I go back to my Quixel bridge, and then okay, let's go to brows. Okay, here. So this one. Okay. Okay, so you can see you can download like so many types of brows. Right. So maybe you pick which one you want. Okay, let me get the brows clumps. Okay, Gordon Loan. I'm gonna download this one. just give it some time. Okay, I'm gonna add the project. Okay, just make sure it's in the project. Okay, yeah, this is the same one. Grass clumps. Okay, this is wild grass. Okay, yeah. So okay, having that's enough for this one. So I'm gonna pick these, and then I'm gonna drag them in here. Okay, it's gonna ask me if I want to save this. I'm just gonna click save, save, save. Okay, I can right click, nanite, enable nanite. So this time I'm gonna pick only these three, right? You can see they are on. So now I can fill this, this garden here. So I'm just gonna click here. Okay, okay, it's a bit too much. So maybe we can change the setting. Okay, scaling. We're gonna change this to 0.2, maybe to 0.6. Okay, let's try. Okay, it's a bit too little. Okay, let's go to okay, density is fine. Okay, Z offset is fine. Static. Let me go up. Okay, these three. Okay, it's not filling properly, so yeah. Okay, let me change this to maybe 1000. I think 1000 was a bit little, so maybe 10,000. Okay, I think 10,000 looks okay. Okay, as you can see, I'm having some issues with my gross texture. So if you're having the same, okay, what you can do is we're gonna go back to selection mode. I'm gonna open the grass. Okay, you find the material of the grass. So this one, I'm gonna open it, and then in here I'm gonna find this one, MMS foliage. I'm gonna open this. Okay, this one is, let me check if it's a white texture. Okay, it's a white texture. Okay, so let's select it again. Go to the grass, grass clumps. Okay, should be this one. Okay, you can see now they're purple or something. I'm not sure why. So I'm gonna pick all of this. Right click, convert to virtual texture. Change this to 248. Let's apply. Okay. Okay, still hasn't changed. Okay, is this material that's having issue? So in here, I'm gonna pick this. I'm gonna find something called, yeah, this one. This needs to change to another white one, so maybe pick this one. Once you do this, you click apply. Your brush should have color, right? So you save. If your gross is fine, you don't have to do this step. Right, so now you can see we have our garden. Let's yeah. Okay, it's starting to get a bit heavy on the computer, so because I'm recording and at the same time. Okay, that's G. You can see how nice it looks. So okay, so now I'm gonna place a few trees and then we can proceed with rendering. Okay, let me go back to my Quixel bridge. Let me find a few trees. Okay, trees, you can add some tree packs, right, from the Epic Game Store, right? If you go to your Epic Games, okay, I don't have it open. Okay, let me open Epic Games. marketplace. We'll give it some time to, okay, let's go on free, then go to Megascan. Okay, you can see there's so many 3 packs that you can download and add to your project. They are free. So like usual, you just go to your library. Okay, so yeah, right, you can download all the trees that you added to your project. Right, so you can add these. You have your European trees, right, and then yeah, there's a Nordic forest. There's so many like Megascan European, Megascan European 2. Right, okay, let me see. Yeah, you got oak forest to add to project. So now let's just wait for it. It's around 4.6 gigabytes, so you might have to wait for it. Okay, so once you've added everything to your project, right, so you will find this folder depending on what you downloaded. So my one, I downloaded the MAE Oak Forest. So in here we just go to the meshes, we go to environments. Okay, so we have a few things like they have grass. You can open it just to see. Right, so they have like this thin grass. Right, so it's a full pack. So in here you have trees, rocks, roads, or whatever you have, so you can place them, make a nice scene. So maybe if you want, you can place the road, right? So then you can just copy, paste a new one, right? So you can do all of this just to make the scene nicer. I'm just going to pick the trees, right? So maybe I want to place a tree somewhere here, so maybe something straight. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, they are quite heavy meshes, so yeah, so don't place too much. Let me try this one. Okay, this is very big, so maybe I can scale it. Okay, that's the wrong scale. Wrong. So maybe I'm gonna make this big. Yeah, so I think this is fine. I'm just gonna convert it to nanite. Okay, it's already nanite, so yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, maybe I can rotate it a bit to this side. Yeah, I think this looks fine, so maybe put one more tree somewhere here. It's quite big, so I'm gonna scale it again. Oops. Okay, undo. Then from here, maybe like this. Right, so yeah. So you place as many trees as you require. Okay, so now the next thing is, once you've set up your whole environment, we can start making renders. Right, so maybe I'm gonna have something, okay, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint a few trees at the back, so it doesn't look too empty-ish. So I'm gonna go to my foliage mode. Yeah. Okay, so just to make sure, okay, I'm not gonna take the seedlings. I'm just gonna pick all of these. Okay, I'm gonna drag and drop them here. Save, save, save. Okay, save depending on how many you're importing. Okay, now I have to find the trees, right? So this is going to be a bit tricky. Okay, there you can see the trees, right? So I'm gonna pick only the trees just to make sure they are. Yeah. So these are the trees. So now I can paint the trees, right? So I'm gonna increase my brush size. Okay, their size is a bit too big. So okay, let me change the density to 10 maybe. The scale I'm going to go 0.1 to 0.3. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so I think it's painting too many trees at the same spot. So maybe the scale, maybe I'm going to change this to 2. Right, okay, it's painting one by one again. Maybe the radius 10. Okay, so you can place a few trees. Okay. So for this, reduce the paint density, maybe increase the brush. Right, so you can paint a few trees at the back. Here, the side. Here as well. Okay, paint a few trees. Maybe this side also. Okay, maybe a bit closer to the house. Right. Yeah. So maybe something like this, right? Yeah. Okay, so once I'm happy with the result, yeah, I think this looks okay. So I'm gonna go back to my selection mode. Next, we're gonna start our rendering. Okay. So for rendering, first thing we need to do is we need to create a camera. Okay. So camera, you can just go here, cinematics. We're gonna create first a cine camera actor. Okay. So we're gonna create the camera. As you can see, the camera is that side. So if you cannot see your camera, you just press G. The camera will come back. In here, you can right click on the camera. You can pilot cine camera actor, or you can snap object to view. Okay, so if I do this one first, okay, now it snapped the camera to what I'm seeing, to the view. Okay, so now from here I can change this to the camera. Okay, cine camera actor 1. Okay, so I'm gonna pick, oh sorry, it's not this one. I'll change this again to cine camera actor. Okay, so now that's my camera. Okay, so once you're in the camera, we're gonna change a few settings. First, we press G to get rid of all these, game things. Right, so I can go down. Okay, so if I zoom a bit to the back. Okay, so maybe somewhere here. Okay, so right now we have our camera. Okay, so we need to animate this camera. So to animate all these issues, first we're gonna fix the settings for the camera. So in here, when I select my camera in the layer panel, you can see we have all these settings, right? So the settings I like to change is, I'm gonna change this to 1690 SLR, right? So you can see it's a bit wider. Sorry, okay. I'm just gonna pick my camera again. I accidentally clicked on, okay, I think it was this one. Yeah, 1690 SLR. The lens setting, I'm gonna change it to a 30mm lens, right? Or maybe let's try 12. I think 12 is too much. Okay, it depends on, you know, what you really want. I think 50 is good for me. We don't want the crop setting. Okay, the focal length we're not going to change. Okay, so next we're gonna find the focus. Okay. Okay, post process we don't need all of this. Color grading we're not gonna change. Okay, the focus should be somewhere here. Okay, yeah, focus. Okay, so now if I pick the draw debug plane, what's gonna happen is it's gonna show me like a plane. Okay, well that's purple color, where I can see where it's focusing. Right now it's like, it seems like it's focusing on this facade here, right? You can see like most of the things are blurred, so it's focusing here, I believe. So if I draw debug, okay, and then I'm gonna pick this. Let's say I'm gonna pick this one first. Okay, I think that's a bit too. Okay, so maybe the idea. Okay, so now if I hide the plane, right? So you can see like these are blurred, right? They are blurred. The back is blurred. So now it's focusing, you know, somewhere here. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Okay, maybe closer here. Draw the debug plane. Okay. Yeah. So maybe we're gonna enable this. Okay, hide the plane again. Okay, so you can see all of this is blurred, right? Now it's focusing on here. So next, to animate the camera, we need to create something else called, okay, we can go in here, we can add a level sequence. Okay, so if you add a level sequence, it's gonna ask you to give it a name and save it, right? So you can save the level sequence. We can create a new folder here. So if you right click on this new folder, I'm gonna call this level sequence, level sequencer, sorry. So then I'm gonna save it. Okay, so once you save it, you can see it opens like a video editing, like timeline kind of thing, right? So in here we want to add our camera. You can just add your camera to here. After to sequencer, we can find our camera, right? Camera. Okay, I know my one is a, sorry, camera. So I can add the camera here, right? You can see it's the correct camera. So in here, maybe I'm gonna change this to 300, right? Because I want a bit longer clip, so 300 both side. So then maybe I can increase this one to 300 so we can see it. Then I'm gonna increase the clip to 300. Okay, so here, okay, 300. Good. So now in here we need to animate the camera. So if I pick the camera, right, you can see it pick the same camera here. Sorry, the camera. So now we have our camera picked. Now I have all my, you know, my settings for my camera. So if I go back to the focus, sorry, okay, go back to the focus. I'm gonna turn off the debug plane for now. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the debug plane here off. Okay, then for my position, I'll make sure I am at frame 0. I'm gonna click this one. Okay, so now the camera has, you know, locked one keyframe here. So this will be our starting keyframe. I also want to lock the manual focus, so I'm gonna lock this too. So then you move the slider to the last keyframe, right? so 300. This, yeah. So then once you're at 300, you can move your camera back to. Okay, I'm not sure why it's showing my debug plane in the camera, but yes. Maybe somewhere here. Debug. Maybe here will be my debug. Okay, this side, I think so. Yeah. So now at the end, I can just add one more and one more. Right, so now if I come back here, you can see the camera moving all the way, right, until it stops here. Okay, so we go something like this. So my first keyframe, I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna turn off the draw debug. Okay, so now as you can see, right, goes through this and then it comes all the way here. Okay, so that's going to be my first video. Right, so if we go through the trees, it will come somewhere here. Good. So then you need to render like maybe 2 animations outside and 2 inside, depends on you, right? Okay, so once you're ready to export your movie, right, so you just come here, you click on render this movie, right? Yeah, we just click here. Okay, in here you can change your output format. You can change to BMP, PNG or anything. Okay, it's up to you. Usually the best quality you will get is if you export it as a BMP or PNG, and then you compile it on a video editing software such as Premiere Pro or whatever. Then you can compile it to proper, video. But for now, we just pick AVI just to move a bit quickly. So then use custom frame rate. I'm not gonna change this. I'm gonna leave this at 3840, so 4K. Texture streaming is off, compression is off. Yeah, this one you can pick where you want to save your project. So my one I put on the desktop, I call it rendering 1. So I'm gonna leave this at default. File format is world, this remains the same. Okay, game mode override, this one we need, right? So we're just gonna change this to just change this to game mode, is fine. Okay, this is all we're gonna leave on. Okay, right, edit, cinematic is good, cinematic mode is on. Okay, advanced. Okay, cinematic engine scalability, this one is good. I don't want to use path tracer, but okay, we just leave this as it is. Okay, yeah, I think this should be fine. Okay, so now once you start rendering, it might take some time. So before you start rendering, I would suggest change this to unlit. It will save some resources for your computer. So then once you're ready, you can just click capture movie. Okay, it's gonna ask you if you want to save. You just save everything. Okay, so once it saves, it will open a new render preview window. So as you can see, it's starting to render, right? Depending on your computer, it will take, yeah. So it all depends on your computer, how fast, it will take to render. Because it's quite a short video, 300 frames, is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna do one interior, and yeah, then we're gonna finish the lecture. Okay, I'm gonna close this. Right, okay, let's do one interior shot. So I'm gonna create maybe a camera inside. Okay, let me slow this down a bit. Okay, so one interior, I'm gonna like this. Right, I can use the same camera if I want to. So maybe, something like this. Maybe somewhere here. Okay, so let me delete. Oh, okay. So I need to create a new camera. Sorry. So I'm just gonna stop piloting this camera. I'm gonna zoom, go inside, the house. Okay, so in here, I'm gonna create a new camera, right? So, click here, cinematic. We want the cine camera actor. Okay, so now here I can right click on the camera. I can snap object to view. Okay, so now I'm here. Right click again on it, pilot cine camera actor. So now we are in the project. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna start somewhere here. Right. Okay, for this one, since it's an interior shot, we're gonna change a few camera settings. Okay, so this one leave at 0, this one leave at maybe 160. Okay, it's a bit too rotated, so I'm just gonna leave this. Okay, in here 0. Maybe let me check. Too much. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, change a few, lens setting, or maybe we're gonna change to an 85. Okay, 85 is too much. Let's try 30. Okay, I think 30 is fine. Yeah, 12 is definitely too far. Yeah, just do 30. Okay, same thing. Smooth focus change. Draw debug. We want the focus to be. At first, the focus we let me delete this here. The cine camera actor. Delete this. Okay. Now we're gonna add the new camera here. Is this one. Right. So I'm gonna drag and drop it here. So again, position and focus. Okay. So then maybe once, maybe after a few seconds, right? Let's say somewhere around here, I will want the focus to change. So now I want the focus to be here. Okay, maybe a bit more here, right? So here I can change the focus here. Now I want it to start moving, right? So now let's say around somewhere here, I'm gonna move inside. Right? Okay, let's say somewhere here. Okay, now here I want the focus to be on this. So I'm gonna mark these two position. Okay, maybe on the position 1. Yeah, this is at 0, it's fine. Okay. Okay, the position 1 I think is not correct. Okay, so when I'm here, I need to be somewhere inside here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna press left. Okay, pick the focus point you want. So this. So this is my focus. I'm not sure why it's focusing that far. Okay, here. I'm gonna add this and So it's bringing the plane in. So in here I'm gonna off the plane. On this I'm gonna, okay, the plane is already off, but in this one I want the position to be somewhere here. Okay, so now this is my new position. So I'm gonna stop somewhere here, and then here, once you know, okay, so the focus will be on this. Okay, let me draw the debug. Okay, I want the focus here. Okay, so now, yeah, okay, let me off the debug. Okay, so I'm in here. Okay, it goes inside here. Then once we reach somewhere, okay, this is in focus, so maybe I'm gonna move this a bit. Okay, so then while this is going, okay, so now it's focusing on this, maybe a bit further. So then the focus comes in. Once it leaves this, comes somewhere here, I want it to focus that side. So in here I'm gonna pick my new focus, draw debug, I'm gonna pick there. Right, so then I'm gonna click this, select it, off the debug. Right. So as you can see, we come in, okay, focus on the curtain, it will move, okay, still focusing, changing. Now it changes to this. Okay, now we need a new position. Okay, so we've stopped here for now. So from this, we're gonna move to maybe at 300, and then we're gonna go, sorry, shouldn't have moved. Okay, my camera moved a bit, so yeah. Pick here, 152. Come back here. Okay, you can always move on this, right? So if I just move this, we could stop somewhere here. So this would be our lost keyframe. And then maybe the focus also changes somewhere here. So in here we can change the focus to this, and then we can add one more keyframe. So it's going to be something like this. Right, so let's play the video and see. So it comes in, right, okay, we have the debug here, so I'm going to off the debug. So you will move, okay, focus changes, comes in, goes all the way, right. Okay, maybe somewhere here, right, it focuses on the plant. So I'm gonna pick the plant, make a keyframe, then as it moves, okay, so after the plant, maybe it's focusing there. So here. Okay, so let's see, watch it again. So it comes in, focusing, focusing, focusing. There, moves. Okay, goes on the plant. Gives a little bit of focus to the plant, and then changes to the back. Okay, so what you can do here is we can actually pick all these keyframes, right? So shift, I select all the keyframes one by one. So pick this, and then if you right click, you can change this to maybe linear. Right. So it's like a smoother, transition. You can change the bottom one also to linear. So if you right click, you can change it to linear. Right. So then once you're done with your shot, you can just click on the sequencer. Okay, basically the settings are the same. Right. So we just leave it as it is. I can just capture movie. Okay, save selected. Okay, I forgot to change the thing to unlit, so maybe you change it. So basically that's it, and then you need to upload your videos to CN, right? So yeah. Okay guys, thank you. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you what the final one looks like. You can see all the greenery, you can check out the plants. Right, they come in here. And then you can see the curtains flying inside. Take a look inside. So you can see the bathroom. This one need to be here. Okay, that's it. That's it. Thank you guys.